the Frost Jazz Hour right here on WDNA's 88.9 FM, the home of serious jazz. I'm your host, Marcello Corelli. It's great to be back after a few weeks off. And we're going to continue with some great music. We had, I believe Andrew Tinch and his duo with Mike Ramos last week, who's going to be joining this trio this week. I'm here with the great Connor Rohrer on piano and Michael Ramos on bass. So we're gonna play a nice set of music that Connor put together. It's really it's his group, but I'm announcing it. And I'm just so grateful to be playing with these guys, especially out of quarantine for having the virus. I'm better and ready to make some music. So without further ado, here's the Connor Rohrer Trio. We're gonna start off with this tune by Billy Childs entitled "Quiet Girl." Once again, for those of you just tuning in, that was a Billy Childs composition entitled Quiet Girl. And Connor, again, he transcribes all of this stuff from ear. So hats off to him for doing that. And we're going to hear a composition of his now entitled, no, I'm sorry, we're going to do one more before that. I believe this one's called Tongue Twister. And it is a Mulgrew Miller composition. So, and then we're going to hear a little bit from Connor after that. So enjoy this Tongue Twister. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to play. Again, that was Tongue Twister by Mulgrew Miller. We're going to play another one of his compositions later on in the set. But, Connor, I want to welcome you to WDNA, man. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Glad to be here.
Oh, man. It's good to have you. I know you've played this show a few times before.
Yeah, just a few times, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, again, I love doing this and doing the double duty thing and being able to play with my friends and then interview them. So this is going to be a pleasure. First thing I wanted to ask you, man, is, just by playing with you, having you on my recital, just learning my music and all that, and learning your music and all the things you've transcribed, you have probably one of the greatest ears for harmony that I've heard. Oh. And same with you, Mike. But like as far as piano players, definitely one of my favorite to play in that way. And yeah, you obviously that's your job to reharmonize things on the spot as a piano player because you're arranging at the keys. But how did you develop this ability to just kind of hear things so naturally and transcribe and reharmonize and things like that?
Yeah, in the past I worked with this fusion group at home, and our name is Teen Town, after the Weather Report song off of Heavy Weather. The bass player wanted to play some really hard tunes, and there were no charts for these tunes, these really crazy fusion through composed tunes. And so what I would do is I would have to transcribe, the keyboard part along with the guitar part and put it into a score. And that it was rough starting out, but I think that really gave me good practice and experience trying to figure out, transcribing chord progressions, voice leading things, just getting everything in the score and then figuring out some way to play it, put it all together. We don't have a guitar player in our trio, so I would have to synthesize all the parts together. And I think that was really good practice for me early on. That was in high school when I started doing things like that. And that was, that music was way beyond what I was listening to at that point. So that was definitely good practice for me, I'd say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. That's a great group too. I'll ask you a little, actually, we'll go back to that, but also I hear a heavy classical influence in your playing. I know you have a lot of, you take from a lot of different pianists and composers. Like, who are some of your biggest classical influences, and how have you incorporated your classical influence into your jazz playing over the years?
Yeah, right now I'm really into sort of the Russians from the early 20th century, composers like Stravinsky, Prokofiev. In fact, I brought in an arrangement to you guys of the third movement in Prokofiev's Fifth Symphony. I've been constantly inspired by looking at scores of the music of these composers. I feel like the score is just like a powerful thing because all the information is right there in front of you, and there's so much to gain from just, seeing what these guys wrote. And especially, pianist composers like Prokofiev, and Stravinsky was a good pianist as well. They started these compositions as improvisations at the piano, and they just jotted down something and they remembered it, and then they, orchestrated it eventually. And it's just cool to really get inside their head and figure out what they're really going after. And I've definitely, in my own compositions, there's probably some hint of inspiration from, those types of composers. Sure. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely the through composed aspect of your composing definitely comes from that. And we're going to hear that next, actually, a composition by Connor entitled To Lyle. I know Lyle Mays has been a big influence on you, too. And I was going to, again, why not? Who are some of your jazz piano influences? I know Lyle's one of them.
Yeah, Lyle's great. It's funny, he never really called himself a jazz pianist, right. Even though, a lot of people think of him like that. A lot of people just think of him as, the side man to Pat Metheny, and of course he's much more than that. But he was a colorist, I think. He was, his he was all about texture, all about sound, getting different sounds from, he would have 6 keyboards around him, and you'd have his arms all over the place trying to figure out, what can I do to really make this guy sound great and his compositions sound great. But yeah, other influences, I mean, we played some Mulgrew Miller. I've been into Mulgrew Miller a lot recently. I've been transcribing a lot of his tunes from his records. I feel like, obviously he's a brilliant pianist, but his compositions are just, they really hit in all the right spots. Everything has its place. There's nothing out of place. Everything just feels good.
Yeah.
And the tunes are just, gems, really.
Yeah, they're perfect almost.
Yeah.
Perfect composition.
Other inspirations, I mean, I've been into Chick for a while, early Chick especially. Ahmad Jamal was I definitely spent, quite a few months diving into his trio, trio music.
Yeah.
Yeah, to name a few, yeah, those are some inspirations for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, again, I wish I could talk to you longer, but I want to play your composition.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for talking to me for a bit.
Yes, thanks for having me, man.
Of course, man. So we're going to continue with a Connor Rohrer composition entitled "To Lyle," dedicated to Lyle Mays, who the late great, who passed away just during the pandemic, actually. Right before the pandemic. Yeah. So that was a huge loss. So yeah, enjoy "To Lyle," and then we're going to take a short breather. Not sure if the stream's still going, but we're going to take a quick breather. It's probably going to be a fast turnaround. We'll be right back here on the Frost Jazz Hour, 88.9 FM. Welcome back to this edition of the Frost Jazz Hour right here on WDNA's 88.9 FM. I'm your host, Marcello Corelli. Welcome back. And we have been listening to the Connor Rohrer Trio, Connor Rohrer on piano, Michael Ramos on bass, and yours truly, Marcello Corelli on the drums. I'm happy to be doing both hosting and playing today. We have played some great compositions. We started with a Billy Childs tune, Quiet Girl. Then we continued with a tune by Mulgrew Miller entitled Tongue Twister, and then we finished the set with a wonderful Connor composition on To Lyle. We're going to continue with another Mulgrew Miller. I know we were going to go back to Mulgrew. Here we are. We've arrived back at Mulgrew Miller, and we're going to start off with a composition entitled Carousel. That was a great tune entitled Carousel by Mulgrew Miller. You're listening again to the Connor Rohrer Trio. If you've just started tuning in, this is the Frost Jazz Hour. We have a great number of talented musicians from the Frost School that get to perform here on the stream and in front of not a live audience, unfortunately, but a sort of a fan base in their cars or at home. I mean, it's a great opportunity to perform and have high-quality audio and video. So I do encourage you to, if you can, make a donation to WDNA by going to their website. I don't, at the top of my head, remember the phone number, but if you go to WDNA.org, you can make a donation. So to keep this thing going, we got to keep the money rolling. Mike, it's nice to see you, bro. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Again, I know you've played this show many, many times, and you're born and raised here in Miami, right?
Yeah, I was born here. Actually, last week was my first time playing this show.
Really?
Yeah, so this is my
Oh, my
second.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you're going to play a lot more because it's a lot of fun to play with you, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. So when did you start getting into jazz? Because I know you've been playing for a number of years, but when did you start really getting into jazz?
Yeah, I started playing like electric when I was like 14, 15, and I started playing upright and like kind of getting into jazz when I was like 16.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you have a wide knowledge of the piano trio. You know, you listen to a lot of piano trio. You get a lot of influence from. I want you to say who are some of your favorite piano trios to listen to and grab things from.
Ahmad is one of my favorite trios ever. Ahmad Jamal trio. You know, Israel Crosby is one of my favorite bass players, and that's like a group that has influenced me so much. You know, and like Bill Evans trio. You know, like the stuff with Scott LaFaro, the stuff with Eddie Gomez. You know, like all that. That's all pretty important to me.
Of course, man. Yeah. Maybe next show we'll play some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? But this has been a great challenge to play the Mulgrew stuff and to I definitely like have you listened to a little bit of I'm sure you've listened to OP and that trio too.
Oh, yeah. Ray Brown.
Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some of the first music I listened to actually. It was like my teacher put me on to like We Get Requests.
Who'd you study with?
Dan Montgomery.
Oh yeah.
At first, and then Lowell Ringle, both really great like graduates.
Yeah, they both graduated from the studio of Chuck Bergeron.
Go Canes.
Go Canes. Yes, sir. I know you also, like you said, you started with electric, and you do a lot of singer-songwriter stuff too. And I know you have an EP or a single out of you playing electric and singing. Are we going to hear some more of that in the upcoming years, months, releases? Like what kind of stuff?
Yeah, actually, I have a band at school right now with some good buddies of mine called Damn Janice.
Yeah.
It's we have 2 singles dropping tomorrow.
Wow, perfect timing.
Yeah, look at that.
Look out for that. So it's just under the name Damn Janice.
Yep, Damn Janice.
Cool.
And, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll look out for that, man. Also, let's see. What have you gotten out of, like, what's your favorite part of being at Frost? I know because you just started here, or you're halfway through. What do you think has been your favorite part, like the private lessons or composition, arranging? Like, what have you gotten out of Frost so far?
Yeah, I just like the people, you know.
Yeah.
Like I've made a lot of great friends at Frost and really great like musical relationships, and like, you know, you can't really trade that for anything.
No, you can't. I mean, the community at Frost is super tight knit.
Yeah.
It's easy to just kind of settle in and make friends, and especially get to make music with some of your closest friends, you know, too.
Totally.
It's easy, you know. You can just grab somebody, let's play, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that being said, go Canes. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for being with us. And we have one more tune for you, which we're gonna stretch a little bit on because I know we have a little bit more time. This is one of my, honestly, like when we played this in the rehearsal, it's like, this is one of my favorite tunes now. That live version is pretty amazing. This is a McCoy Tyner tune entitled Rio. It's from the Live at Munich 1989 performance. Yeah. I don't know, is that how you pronounce Munich? Yeah. So this is gonna be a lot of fun to play. Thanks everyone again for tuning in to this week's station. After I'll announce who's going to be playing next week, but I know we have Leo Folsom coming up and then Eric Stern. So look out for those performances. But for now, here's Rio.
Thank